Hello everybody, DM here from That Wrestling Show with the review of Night of Champions, and needless to say, it was a show. Uh, a lot to say about this pay-per-view. If you take it for the wrestling aspect, you could take it one way, but if you take it for storyline aspect, you'd be an idiot to give this 10 out of 10 stars. So why don't we get down to the actual show? It opens up with the tag team titles being Air Boom versus The Miz and R-Truth, who are now going by Awesome Truth. Not a bad exchange between all four guys, I have to admit. This was a pretty exciting tag match. A couple of things I noticed. It was Air Boom that made the unassisted tag. What I mean by unassisted tag, they just kind of made a tag sound without actually tagging in, and it was Truth and Miz that actually were able to tag out, but ironically the referee said no, I didn't see it, therefore you can't call it. Miz flips his shit and takes out the referee. Air Boom wins by disqualification. That's kind of the way the rest of this show is gonna go, where, like I said, you can judge it from the wrestling aspect and you can judge it from the storyline aspect, and it has its faults, let's put it that way. Overall, not a bad match. It was very enjoyable for what it was worth. Kind of felt weird that it was the faces that were doing the cheat Guerrero tactics, but, win how you can, cheat if you must, I guess. Next match on the card, if I'm not mistaken, was the Intercontinental Championship between Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase. Again, not a bad matchup. I think this is the first time these two have actually squared off, at least in recent memory. It's kind of funny that we were booing Rhodes and cheering a DiBiase 20 years ago. That was reversed. Trust me, it was definitely reversed. An okay exchange between the two, not too bad. I think it told a pretty decent story, quote-unquote. Cody Rhodes gets his mask taken off, but then scoops up DiBiase for a roll-up while hooking the tights. 1, 2, 3. Cody Rhodes retains. So far, everything that I predicted was pretty much correct, and this is where it kind of goes a little bit sour. We get a small segment with Christian and Sheamus. I thought at first there was no reason for having this. There really wasn't a reason for having this little segment, to be 100% honest. So, let's just move on from that. It's now time for the United States Championship, which was the Fatal 4-Way between John Morrison, Alexander Riley, I don't know why I was thinking Alexander, Dolph Ziggler, and Jack Swagger. And you know what? For what it was worth, it wasn't a bad little match. They had a Fatal 4-Way. Morrison almost had the match a couple of times. A-Rye almost had the match a couple of times. But in the end, it was Dolph Ziggler that got and scored the official win, retaining his title. I had a feeling he was going to retain, but I, just for the sake of it, picked John Morrison, and, well, I was wrong, and that's kind of where my predictions went south from here. Again, not a bad exchange between all four of these guys. Of course, Morrison gets the spot of the night with the Spider German Suplex when he was in the Tree of Woe position, and not too bad overall. Now this is where I kind of went, wow. We had World Heavyweight Champion Randy Orton defending against Mark Henry, and now to be 100% honest, I was not really into this match, mainly for the fact that I was never a big fan of Mark Henry, and I'm not much of a fan of Randy Orton these days because I'm really getting sick and tired of seeing him with a goddamn title. Now, as far as the match goes, personal things aside, as far as the match goes, it was alright. I mean, it wasn't spectacular. I mean, we knew Randy Orton wasn't going to be able to body slam him and do all these moves that he normally does like he would with Christian. We weren't going to get a 5-star classic out of these two. But the match was a little long for my liking, was a little slow. It seemed like Mark Henry was kind of being spoon-fed a little bit through this match. He ends up blocking the RKO twice and takes Randy Orton down with the World's Strongest Slam. We have a new world champion being Mark Henry. The way how WWE books recently, I don't expect him to hold that title for long. We'll get to that in a moment. Next match on the card was Divas champion Kelly Kelly going up against Buffalo, New York's own Beth Phoenix. Now, before I get to the result, let me just say that these two women, they did okay. I think their match at SummerSlam was a little better, to be 100% honest. Beth Phoenix, I don't know. For some reason, I don't think these two gelled as well tonight. Maybe it was the distraction of the New York crowd, but Kelly Kelly, again, is able to get the win. This whole Sisters of Suffering or Divas of Destruction or whatever stable they want to call themselves now is kind of flushed right now. Unless they're saving it for Natalya, but if you think about it, Natalya had the title and kind of lost it. So, yeah, Kelly Kelly gets the win. I'm not too happy with it. Can't really discredit the match, but again, whatever. WWE Championship match. John Cena versus Alberto Del Rio. Del Rio comes out without a car. He says, "Where are my keys?" John Cena stole them. This is one of the reasons why I am so sick and tired of John Cena. You know what? I'm going to add my personal thoughts on here. If WWE wants to sit there and be a star and have this anti-bully campaign bullshit that they have, they really need to check to see who their faces are and who their heels are. Because John Cena now has really pissed me off to no end. If I was a kid and I looked up to John Cena as a role model, that means that I can punch a Mexican, call anyone I want fat, make poop jokes, and steal cars. And this is a show that promotes anti-bullying, and their poster boy did the exact same 4 things I have just said for the last month. With the exception of the Vicky Guerrero fat jokes, but come on, we know he's been doing it. I'm so sick of this hypocritical bullshit that, they say, they even had the fucking advertisement on the pay-per-view. Be a star, and yet John Cena has Grand Theft. He does Grand Theft. Steals a car. That's great. He even goes ahead and makes fun of Alberto Del Rio. Right in the middle of the ring right there. Yeah. I hope you kids are paying attention. In fact, I hope a WWE fan grows up and becomes a goddamn Grand Theft Autoist. I hope, and they say they learned it from John Cena. That way WWE can choke up on their own goddamn words. I'm so sick and tired of... God, I'm so sick and tired of it. Anyway, the match. Now, the match itself was not as good as I thought it would be. I don't know what it was. For some reason, I could not get into this match. Maybe it was the John Cena factor. Maybe it was because Del Rio, I knew, was losing this match. I don't know exactly what it was, but the match did not live up to the hype that I thought it would. In the end, John Cena wins, and Del Rio's WWE title push is wasted. They wasted my time. They wasted our time. It seems like anyone who wins Money in the Bank just loses to John Cena in 3 weeks' time. Anyone that wins the WWE title has to be a fucking coward to John Cena. I've never seen one dangerous heel go up against John Cena since Kurt Angle. Not even Batista was a dangerous heel against John Cena. Not even Kurt... No, Kurt Angle would be the last dangerous heel that I can remember. Go up against John Cena. Everybody else has been, yeah, really, he's not going to beat him. Come on, stop it. John Cena wins. Whatever. WWE, I'm so glad you're building your young stars and your young talent. I hate to say this, but John Cena could grant a million Make-A-Wish, things. But the one thing is, these kids need to realize that death is assured and they're going to die. So they need to get over the fact that John Cena is going to lose eventually. I don't retract that comment either, but I'm just so sick and tired of giving John Cena a title and then having him lose and then having him win it right back. It got old in 2007. It's at that point where I'm done. Anytime Cena's on the screen, I'm turning off. I'm done. I'm seriously done. I had hope for Del Rio. His credibility, he's got about as much credibility as Jack Swagger now. No one's going to remember that he was a goddamn champion, and they'll be setting him, whatever. You know what, just whatever. Del Rio, if you get released tomorrow, go back to AAA and get your respect back, because WWE they don't respect shit. Now we get to the main event of the evening, which is CM Punk and Triple H, and there's two parts to this. There's the match part, and then there's the finish. The match itself wasn't bad. Triple H and CM Punk had a pretty good exchange. Granted, it was no holds barred. It wasn't, it wasn't bad. I expected probably a little bit more between these two, but considering the amount of time we had, it wasn't bad. I actually liked it. But then we get to the finish. Not the referee, Miz and R-Truth come out and beat the shit out of Triple H and CM Punk. Triple H kicks out. The Miz takes out the referee. John Laurinaitis comes down. Kevin Nash came down. The ending was very, very schmozzy. I did not like it one bit. Kevin Nash got taken out. The Miz and R-Truth got taken out. Pedigree, GTS, pedigree, near fall. I don't know what WWE was thinking. This match, up until the finish, had potential, and now it just plain sucks. I am very sorry to give that a poor rating. Not that it was a poor rating, it's just the finish was just absolutely horrible. There were so many unanswered questions, and I thought we were getting away from the Russo bullshit, and it seems that maybe WWE rehired him, because this is exactly what it felt. Swerve, no another swerve, no another swerve, no another swerve. You didn't know what was up and what was down, and I guess that's what WWE is trying to do, but you can only do that with so many angles. Miz and Truth, why are they down there? John Laurinaitis, why was he down there and only allowed Punk to get a 3, attempted for a 3 with the other referee, but not Triple H? Why did Kevin Nash take out both people? Where did John Laurinaitis go? So many unanswered questions. And for a pay-per-view that, I don't know what WWE was thinking. Overall, Night of Champions, I'm going to be fair and give it 3 out of 5 stars. It's on par with SummerSlam, but that's not saying much. The wrestling was okay. The endings I wasn't too happy with, and the main event just got ruined by WWE. Again, just not knowing what the fuck to do. And my faith is now starting to swagger a little bit. We're getting towards the end of the summer, and already they're starting to drop the ball on shit. Maybe they're supposed to have another fight at Hell in a Cell, but then with the whole Nash factor, again, I don't know. I want to hear your comments and your thoughts about how you felt about Night of Champions. Like I said, the wrestling aspect was okay, but storyline-wise, things just didn't seem to click. I don't know if this was an okay pay-per-view or if it was just I couldn't get into it, but that's about it with my review of Night of Champions. Like I said, overall, an okay show. It was kind of a throwaway pay-per-view, to be 100% honest. It felt more like an extension of Raw. And that's about it. I will see you all next time on That Wrestling Show. And those of you that joined us in the chat room, thank you very much. I am Deanne from That Wrestling Show saying, until next time, I'll see you then.